Yes, the thumbnail is correct. This is the slowest Genting drive ever. Okay guys, I'm in the Lusso T now. Finally, slightly clearer roads. He's driving a bit too fast for photos.
Yeah. DJ should tell him, man.
Yeah, he should slow down.
Call him.
Yeah. That's a bit too fast for photos.
That's usually.
Yeah. So this is a Ferrari for families. Oh dear, this street.
Hello? Slow down for photo taking. Slow down. Slow down for photo taking.
Yeah, what the hell is he
Okay,
doing?
thank you.
Alright. You imbecile. It's so easy to drive, even though the size is the wheelbase is like 3 meters long, but when you're driving day to day, slow traffic,
Yes.
so easy to drive. And I like the bulge.
Yeah, seems like we need
Yeah,
It helps to
driving
judge,
lines,
right?
yeah,
It helps to
very much
judge.
so.
But that's a very Porsche thing, right? All this while,
Okay, man.
they've had that.
I'll remain. No comment on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just love they strike the balance between a livable day-to-day car, but never for once it lets you feel that it has a vanilla mode. There's no vanilla mode here. Like the M5, if you don't do any settings and all that, right, it's as vanilla as you can get. So comfortable, so quiet. But that's not what we want. We want something that is...
Still needs to represent the horse.
Yes, you need to represent the horse, the prancing horse. Yeah. Speed bumps, no problem. There's even a little button here. In sports mode, I can press this to raise it up, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the dampers. We do have a lift.
Oh, lift function here.
button there,
Yeah. This one is to sharpen it or
Soften.
soften it, right?
Soften,
Yeah. In sports mode, you can soften it, right?
Correct,
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
Lovely. So if you are in comfort mode, when you're doing this type of turn, you can definitely feel the body roll. You know, it absorbs it. You know, lets it live through the lines. And then, of course, you can go into sport mode, but there's no reason here. So how does the V8 turbo behaves? Right. On paper, there's the torque. There's the horsepower. On day-to-day driving, I think the transmission, I mean, let's put it this way, this transmission feels like, in comfort mode, it feels like when you're in a Beamer or a Merc and you adjust it to the sportiest transmission setting. You know, it holds it a little bit here, holds it a little bit there, and then it has that aggressive... Wait, let me let TJ in. And
Give it a shot?
alright, I put it in park,
Yes.
parking brake,
Yeah.
a pull, right?
Yeah.
Or push.
When it says hold, you're fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah. So
I
it's
can
fine.
open the door.
Let Paul know where you're stopping. Then you all actually pass.
No,
Now you're off.
yeah.
Yeah, you call Paul now.
I'll let him in, but there's a lot of cars. TJ, you wanna come in? Oops. Oh yeah. That push like this. You okay?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Has the car went into stop-start mode?
No, not sure. It's still on.
You can say you can downstream to drive slower. It's driving so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can go off already, right?
Yep.
I think he's.
How do I flash someone?
Yeah, just with that one.
Push or
You pull this one.
pull? Okay. Go lah, macha.
I think he's calling con
Okay.
because they need to arrange when to stop for them to change cars.
Okay. Then I'll just reverse. But we got the shots ready, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go off. I was thinking we go towards Karak direction,
Anyway.
then we can turn back after that. Am I in manual mode?
You're in manual mode, yes.
You
Do
have to
you want to
push
put it back in?
Yeah,
auto?
put it back in auto. Yeah. Oops, sorry for that.
Got to hear it a bit though.
But when I got into but when I go into the car to go into first gear, I need to push the lever once, right?
Yes.
And after that, how does it remain in auto mode?
So the car remains in auto until you press auto to engage manual.
Okay.
Yeah.
You press auto to engage manual.
Correct.
I like that. Italians.
It's a
And then this
car.
button on the steering wheel that looks like a damper that you thought that once you press it is to harden the suspension, is to soften it. But now it's already on the soft setting, right?
Yes,
Because
it
I'm in
should
comfort
be your
mode
comfort,
with
yeah.
the Manatino.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lovely car. Lovely car. Now, we've driven the V12. Put it this way, definitely you don't get the symphony, you don't get the sound coming from the V12. But think about it this way, people who own Ferraris, they have multiple Ferraris, right? Sometimes they want something sporty, and get her one of these because it's quiet. You can live with it daily without the V12 drones. So it's a livable car. Is there an individual mode? No, right?
No,
Yeah,
none
okay.
of this.
Yeah. Tan Bukit Tinggi. What a nice car to drive. TJ, the visibility is better than my 6 Series.
Yeah,
Way better.
you can see things.
Yeah, man. So if I do a bank turn like that, wait for the next one. So easy to drive, so much power. And the whole riding experience is that you can feel the road. It's not that it has been filtered out, so you get a lot of sensation, but it's managed well so that it's still comfortable.
You can share this
Nice.
with the
The V12 still have that same twin gearbox setup, right?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
It's like a tiny gearbox up front for the front axle,
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
To the clutch.
but it only sends like what 20-30% of power to the transmission, to the front transmission.
Around that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's a low ratio, right?
Correct.
Mm.
Yeah, really the only difference between V12 and V8 is the engine and this badge. This little T badge.
Yeah.
And the wheels, and that's it. Everything exactly the same.
You know, if you're a Lusso T owner, and then if people ask you, oh, you bought a smaller engine, that's why you need a turbo, you just tell them, oh, that T stands for torque, because I get more torque than the V12. We want to do Genting Run and become highway drive.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, heavy traffic there. Really heavy traffic. It's so quiet. For a sports car, for a super sports car, double glazed windows, it's just so comfortable. I would daily this, man.
Yeah, easily.
Totally daily this, man. 3.9 V8. Damn.
We don't don't feel it's a very large car, right?
Yes,
In terms of
yes.
positioning.
Yes.
Straightforward.
Yeah. And it's like the middle part of the car is the engine and the driver, you know? Weird. It's totally different from those front engine Aston Grand Tourers. You would have expect a big engine up front, then you have a heavy front end, but this one just turns like that, and yeah. It's a little bit scary at first because the steering wheel is very light, very fast. So you would have expected like, oh, a car that is of this size, you know, will give you a slower response when you give any inputs, but it's not. It's not. So if you ask me, does it feel scarier to drive at high speeds compared to other big GT cars? Definitely. Definitely. And if you come from an Audi where you're used to those really blunted, you know, straight line front end, don't put too much steering in. Bro! Beng ah, where can I make a U-turn now? I don't want to accidentally end up at Guantan.
Let's go there in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're all set. Drive safely.
You trust the car, you trust the front end, and but it's so hard to make the car engine scream, you know. There's hardly any opportunity to do so because you're always at 4,000-5,000 RPM, 4,000-5,000 RPM, and the car is already blisteringly fast. Damn. To be honest, it's a little bit scary. It is. Because the car reacts. It sends information in, you know. To get used to it, and you dare to throw it, so you come. So it's a car with learning curve. So it's not like those where you hop into the car and immediately you get to extract all the performance out of it. There is a learning curve. I like that. So it makes you yearn. You want to drive it this weekend, next weekend, you know, so that you understand the car more.
Your exit is in 1.7 km.
Yeah. See, you would have lift off after a while because it pulls so fast. 1.7 km.
Now what?
Okay.
Yeah, the time before.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Here.
Yeah.
Can you have a third person to have done that?
This one, Beng.
Yes.
Oh, I'm the third person to have done one.
Look for the
Finding the
stock,
stock, right? Yeah. And then left or right?
Left.
Left. And then
Yep. Continue.
B road. It's a
Left.
bit scary. Here, left.
Left. Yes.
Which hole I go in?
Left.
Okay, let's keep it here. Oh, we're heading back.
Yes.
Nice.
Can we pull over for 1 second?
Yeah.
We're driving back to the showroom now.
Yeah.
I might just change the plates over. We're still using the model plates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be
Cool.
really quick.
I'll just wait here.
In the middle of a roundabout.
Middle of roundabout.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay, let's go back. You know, if he's not around, there are a few opportunities just now to be a little bit playful. But normally I'm playful with BMWs and the other cheap cars, not the expensive ones like these. So the sensation of driving a car like this, or a Ferrari for that matter, is so different. I remember a friend telling me that from a GT3 RS to a 458 Speciale, he said he felt so scared at first, you know, because the sensation is just so different. Porsches are absolutely planted and can extract performance out of it, but a Ferrari, he needs to learn how to drive it. See, it's almost 5, everybody leaving work, we're still working. Life's unfair. DJ, a lot of car reviews I saw, right? Especially the American ones, the private ones. So he rolled the car off to the highway.
Yep.
Then he said, let's see how the car drives. Then he flicked it into manual mode, but he's on the highway. So what the fuck are you gonna do?
That's what he said.
All he does is plant the throttle
Yeah.
until red. Then he flipped the pedal with himself. With manual mode. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you testing there? You know. So,
The car is smart enough to
exactly.
think of that itself.
Exactly. Come on. Don't blame this lane hogger. There's a reason he's not in a GTR. Alright. Now I am at odds with the sound this car produces. You cannot guess where or when it's gonna make some noise. It's like it decides on its own. Sometimes at low speeds, it just suddenly go, oh, you know, it's not during gear changes as well. So, oh, careful, bro.
Super scary.
Careful, man. Cars that feels a little bit scary to drive makes you feel alive. You know? It's weird feeling. Did we go that far? It's a very distinct feel that something is pushing you from behind, and then you have a whole front end to manage. You know? So in a way, this feels very rear engine, mid-rear engine, where the front end feels light, whereas when you go on the throttle, it feels all the weight comes from behind. You know, even though there's a huge engine up front. You guys okay at the back?
Yeah.
Okay. Bing is like, oh, Bobby. It's the kind of car where at this juncture, I don't dare to, let's say I see a gap, and plant my throttle and point my steering into that gap and cuts it in. I don't dare to do that yet. So you need to drive it more. is also the type of front end whereby when you're doing a high speed turn, there's a minor adjustments that you will feel that, oh, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Yeah. But all in all, it's just absolutely fantastic. If you bought an Audi RS6 a few years ago at 900,000 ringgit, you know, or a Panamera, this is the car you can upgrade to. Seriously. Why keep money for your kids? Spend it on cars. Screw your kids. You know? Don't spoil them. My son, my daughter, if you're watching this 10, 15 years later, now you will know why I don't leave any money for you. Daddy went off and bought the car! Being if I go into a crash and we all die, at least we die in a Ferrari. You guys want to see lightning fast gear changes? 1, 2, 3. That is like immediate. 1. Okay, I'm on 4,000 RPM now. I can still go one more clock down and make it louder, louder.